All right, boys, what is up? I want to go over a full tutorial on how to use Lucid Trading, currently my favorite prop firm. Lucid Trading has a couple account types, so I do want to go over all of them so you guys don't get confused and you don't get overstimulated when you trade with them, right? This is just marketing shit that you guys don't need to worry about. 15-minute average payout time, that's not even a lie. That's actually them playing it safe. My average payout experience with them has been I request a payout, and in the span of 30 seconds, I'm not even glazed. Like, this isn't even glazed. Like, this isn't even classified as glazed because every time I request a payout, that money is in my bank the next fucking morning, and that payout gets approved before I even request it. You understand that? When you're requesting 5 payouts, because you're going to be trading 5 accounts with code ALE when you're done watching this video, because you're going to love this prop firm, right? You're going to have 5 accounts. You're going to take 5 payouts, 1 per account. By the time you request a payout from the next account, your payout is already approved and on its way to your bank. Do you know how ridiculous that is? You literally click payout request, approved. Payout requested, approved. Payout requested, approved. Like, it's like 111. Your email is just going to flood with payout approved. It is heaven. Heaven. It is such a good prop firm, and I glaze them for a reason. They currently have 4 account types. Account types don't get overstimulated. You have Lucid Pro, Lucid Black, Lucid Flex, and Lucid Direct. Lucid Black is their newest accounts, right? Which is Lucid Pros are going to get grandfathered into Lucid Black, right? Their original account, I did start trading them a few months ago, but I didn't want to promote them until A, they paid me out, because I'm never going to push a prop firm that doesn't actually pay traders out, and B, until I got used to the firm and used to the rules, and now that they've paid me $40,000 in the span of, like I said, 50 days, I can 100% confirm they are a beautiful, great prop firm that I glaze. Yes, I glaze them a lot. I understand that, but I glaze them for a good reason, right? Lucid Pro and Lucid Direct were their original funded accounts. These were the only 2 they had available for people to actually trade on not even 2 months ago. So you have Lucid Direct are basically your instant fundings. Instant fundings are 25, 50, and 150K. Full transparency, I don't recommend these because for most people, the rules just don't work. The easiest way I can put this is to get a payout. There's no, to get these accounts, it's straight to funded, so there's no eval phase. The reason why you're paying $300 for a 50K is because you're skipping the eval phase on these. These are normal accounts, evals. You pass them, you get to funded. Lucid Direct is a straight funded account, so you're literally just buying the funded account straight up. And the best way I can put it is imagine what you make to pass your eval is when you're eligible to take a payout. So it's not just like, oh, you make money, you withdraw it. No, you have to make $3,000, which is the standard profit goal on the 50Ks, right? 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. That is the profit goal on the 50Ks. So on the instant funding, 3,000 is what you have to make before you're eligible to withdraw the max payout, right? Which is also $2,000 actually on the 50Ks. On the 50Ks, I believe it's 2,000 for the flex as well. I'll go over that later. I don't want to confuse you guys and hop back and forth between accounts. I'm going to explain one account at a time so you guys can skip through to watch whatever account you want to learn about, right? Direct. They have 25, 50s, and 150s. I don't even want to go over the 150s because I don't know what the fuck the rules are for most 25 account, or not 150, sorry, 25K accounts. I've never traded a 25K account. Do I recommend them? No. If you're on a budget, no, I don't recommend them. Look at this. For $84, you pay an extra $20 or $40 or $30 and you're trading a 50K. Like 70, 90, like what? Are you serious? Like, no, don't trade the 25Ks. What are you doing? Please do not trade a $25,000 funded account. Get a 50. You're not even going to get to take one trade on the 25Ks. 50 and 150, realistically, for the rest of this video, if you're looking at 25K funded accounts, you can read the rules while I'm reading the other rules because I'm not going to read the rules of the 25Ks, right? 50K and 150s, max loss limit is 6,000. However, they do have a daily loss limit. The reason I don't recommend them isn't because of the daily loss limit. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's going to save a lot of you guys from going on tilt. The reason I don't recommend these accounts is because you have a minimum of 8 trading days. Is that max trading days? Or is that the minimum required of winning days? No, the minimum required of winning days is 5. It is not listed as a rule, but it is going to be a real rule because you have a 25 or 20% consistency rule, meaning you actually need 6 winning days. Because a consistency rule, for those of you who don't know, skip 15 seconds, click skip on this part for fucking one time, 15 seconds, whatever gap. For those of you guys who don't know what a consistency rule is basically a bit. It is a percentage that they give you that your total profit has to match. So 20% means that if more than 20, you need to make, dude, I'm such an idiot right now. My brain is so fried. I'm sorry. 20% consistency rule basically implies that your total winning day, 20% consistency rule implies that your biggest winning day cannot be more than 20% of your total profits. I don't know why that took me so long to like say out loud. Whatever consistency rule these fundeds give you, which the only ones with consistency rules are going to be Lucid Direct, Lucid Black, and Lucid Pro. The Flex has no consistency and no buffer required. That's why they're my favorite accounts. I'm going to go over the Flex accounts because I really recommend these. They're my favorite by far. It's not even close. It's not even close. These are the ones I'm trading right now. I'm trading the 150 Flexes. All right, Lucid Direct. I recommend, like I said, the 50 to the 150s. I don't recommend these accounts at all, but if you're going to, if you're that impatient, and if you have the money to do this, if you have payouts saved up and you're like, all right, you know what, I just want to get an instant funding account, go for it. But I don't recommend them because 20% consistency rule, meaning that you have to basically make the same dollar amount every day for 6 days in a row. Like it's actually kind of pointless. I'm not a big fan of them. Like I said, max accounts, 5 accounts with any accounts. Whether you're doing Pro, Black, Flex, or Direct, you're allowed a max of 5 accounts, meaning you can have 2 Pros, 1 Flex, 2 Direct, whatever you want. But it is a total of 5 actual funded accounts. I don't know if there's a cap on evals. I don't think there should be a cap on evals. But these do have a daily loss limit and a consistency rule. Like I said, a minimum is to pay out. You need 8 trading days, and you basically need 6 winning days. 5 accounts. When you're buying accounts, use code NadaqAle. Yes, I'm affiliated with them because I love this prop firm. I love this prop firm, bro. I'm glazing, but I actually do think it's the best prop firm out right now. All right. Now, okay, I'm going to say Flex for last because they are my favorite and I know the rules by heart. So I'm going to go for the Pros. The Pros are getting grandfathered into the Black. So if you're watching this a month from now, which right now it is currently January 23rd, 2026. If you're watching this a week or 2 weeks from now, these accounts are probably going to be gone. From what I understand, they did say in an email that they are grandfathering these into the Blacks. I don't know how true that is, but in case they're not, let me go over the Pros. So the Pros, the way these accounts work is there is a minimum buffer required for a payout and a 40% consistency rule. You're going to notice the Pros, Blacks, and Flexes, they all have very, very similar rules when it comes to trading the evals, except for consistency. But their profit goals and take profits are the exact same. They're all going to have on the 50Ks, 3,000 profit goal with a $2,000 loss limit. 100K is going to be a 6,000 profit goal with a $3,000 max loss limit. And 150 is going to be 9,000 and 4,500. These are very standard rules. You're going to notice them across all the accounts. Look, 3, 2, 6, 3. 3, 2, 6, 3, 9, 4, 5. Very consistent, very easy to understand. The only difference between the on eval phase, the only difference is between Pro, Black, and Flex is Pro, there's no consistency. Meaning you can one day pass the account. Literally it says right here, pass in as little as 1 day. You can literally pass this in 1 trade, 1 day. Black, 60% consistency rule. Basically means 2 days to actually pass the account. Right? Because you can make 60% of 3,000 in 1 day and 40% the next. Ideally, you'd want to make like 55 and 45. Just makes more sense. You don't want to be on the edge of that, oh, fuck, do I need $5 more to pass my account? You know, that's why I'm going to tell you this. Flex is actually a 3-day pass because there's a 50% rule on consistency. So these accounts are actually 3-day pass. You're going to see all this marketing saying 50% is 2-day pass. Not really, because like the odds of you making, $1,500 and $1,500 while accounting for fees and slippage is a little bit, it's not 100%, you know, so I like to play it safe. I like 3-day passing my evals. What's cool that Lucid does and no other prop firm does, Lucid gives you a slippage. It accounts for your slippage. So I believe on the 50Ks, you can have like a $200. You can look into the rules more. I don't want to waste anyone's time. But they have like a $200 buffer for you to pass your account. So let's say there's a 50% consistency rule on the Flexes. Let's say you make $1,600 and $1,400. I'm pretty sure they'll let it slide. Like they literally have a rule set up for that I'm pretty sure if you're like $50 or $100 off consistency, they'll just hand you the account. They're like, you know what? You deserve it here, which is pretty cool. No other prop firm does that. No other prop firm cares as much about their traders like this one, right? I already went over the Pros. Or did I go over the Pros? No, I didn't go over the Pros. Holy yap session. I'm sorry, boys. The Pros are pretty simple. You make a buffer of $100 over your max loss limit. They do have a daily loss limit, 1.2, 1.8, 2.7, but those are rules we don't care about. To request a payout, you need to build a buffer of $100 over your daily loss or your max loss limit. So on the 50Ks, you need to do 2.1. On the 100Ks, you need to do 3.1. And on the 150s, you got to do 4.6. And then I believe the max payout, it actually grows as you request more payouts. For example, in the 50K, the original max payout, I believe is, let me look really fast. Lucid Black, Lucid Pro. 90% payout split, of course. And accounts purchased before, oh, they no longer have that rule. Okay, here. All right, minimum profit, you need 5 winning days of $100 on the 50Ks, 5 winning days of 150 on the 100Ks, and 200 on the 150s. Consistency 40% basically means 40% of your total profits cannot come from your largest single trading day. Not largest trade. If you're down $500 and you make $1,500 on your next trade in the same trading session, you're only up $1,000 that day. Your consistency rule isn't going to be recognized on that $1,500. It's going to be recognized on your end of day P&L, which is going to be $1,000, meaning you're going to have to make at least $2,500 to request that payout. Here we go. You have a payout max, right? Your payout minimum is basically $500 per account. That is very standard in the industry. Max depends on your payout. That is what I mean. Your payouts, the more payouts you request, the more you get to request out. So for your first 2 payouts, it's $1,500, then $2,000, then $2,500. For the 100Ks, it's $2,000, $2,500, and $3,000. You see how it grows and grows and grows. I personally recommend the 50Ks. I think 50Ks have the best drawdown to take profit ratio. And I just think it's so much easier for you to make $3,000. You request $1,000 per account. And then what? Then you make $2,000. You request $2,000 per account. That is what I did last month. I used 550Ks and I personally really liked it. And that is how I made 25K last month, literally just trading the 50Ks with the 4th payout. Okay, now let's go back before I start yapping more. Lucid Black. Lucid Black is their new accounts, all right? Lucid Black is pretty cool payout concept. Now, they do have this whole marketing thing where it's like minimum days to payout is 3. But it is going to be pretty hard for you to actually do that. If you're a high risk reward trader and you don't trade a low risk reward, then it is going to be easy for you to get these payouts. Ideally, you can actually get the fastest payouts from all these accounts on the blacks. You can 100% get the fastest payouts on the blacks. Passing the evals is going to be very similar as, did I miss anything on the pros? Don't think I did. 5 winning days, cover the max payouts, and then you request whatever you make over your buffer, which is your buffer is $100 over your max loss limit. Now, Lucid Black. Mind you, none of these have activation fees. None of these accounts have activation fees. Once you pass them, you're good. Activation fee free, activation fee free, activation fee free. No activation fee. You're only paying what is on here. You're paying sticker price for the entire experience. There's no upsells. There's no, funded account, monthly subscription. There's no consistency fee. Like none of that bullshit. Like you pass the account, you click activate, and it's in your thing. You make your money, request your money. You go home with fucking 10 racks that month. That's it. Super simple, right? Personally, my favorite, like I said, is 550Ks is what I recommend. I'm going to get into that later, though. I want to go over the blacks real quick. I keep fucking getting distracted, boys. I'm sorry. Lucid Blacks is simple. You have 50Ks and 100Ks, right? Standard profit goal of 3,000, 6,000, max drawdown of 2,000, 3,000. Notice how I'm not going over the 25Ks because they're not bang for your buck when you can literally pay an extra 20, 30 bucks for double the drawdown. It just makes no sense. I'm not going to make you guys buy 25Ks. Are we being fucking serious? No, we're not trading 25K accounts here, right? Pretty standard profit goal. Like I said, there's no daily loss limit, which I like. I don't like how the Lucid Pro has a daily loss limit. I don't mind it. I just don't like it, right? I prefer not to have a daily loss limit. I'm sure a lot of people would not prefer that either, right? No daily loss limit. Consistency rule is this is on eval. On eval, it is 60%. Like I said, it's easier to 2-day pass the Lucid Blacks because you can make 1,600 one day and 1,400 the next, or 1,515 if that's easier for you. And you basically 2-day pass these. Drawdown type is end of day on every account. None of these accounts have intraday drawdown. If any account with any PropFirm has intraday drawdown, you are getting scammed. What intraday means is that it trails your unrealized gains. Like I said before, if you're up $1,000 on a trade and you get break even, your end of day balance is $0, meaning your drawdown stays. Let's say you're on a 50K, your balance is $50,000. Your max loss limit is $48,000, right? Typically, You make 1,000 that trading day, and your drawdown is gonna go up 1,000. You make 1,000, your drawdown is gonna go up 1,000. It usually caps at 50,000, right? That most prop firms cap at 50. That is how it works. It stops trailing after you match the buffer. You get from down here. However, trailing works this way. You make $1,000. Wait, that was a bad example. Let's say you're on end of day drawdown. Still, if you make 1,000 right now, you're up 1,000. You don't make 1,000. You're up 1,000. Sorry for the yap. You're up 1,000 on a trade, and you get break even. End of day, your balance is 0, meaning your max loss limit is still 48,000, right? Because your account is 50,000, your max loss limit is 48,000, right? Scratch everything I said in the past, by the way. This is the way I'm actually gonna explain it now. You have an account with $50,000, your max loss limit is $48,000. If you're up $1,000 on a trade and you end up getting break even, you lost no money because you got break even, correct? Your end of day balance is still $50,000. Your profit and your loss is $0, meaning your drawdown is still going to be $2,000, and it says right here, and is going to be $48,000, right? Because 50,000 minus 2,000 is 48,000. Intraday essentially means you make 1,000, you're up 1,000. I mean, you're up 1,000 on your trade, you get break even. Your $48,000 was following you the whole time while you were up in profit and you didn't close and you got break even, except your buffer didn't go back down with your profit. So essentially your profit unrealized is like this, and your drawdown just follows it. It just follows it, except when you go down, it doesn't go back down with you. So if you have a $2,000 drawdown, you're up 2,000 on a trade and you get break even, you blew your account. It is gone. That is why I will never promote Apex. Apex has intraday drawdown on all of its accounts. That is so scammy. Imagine getting break even on a trade. You made $0. You lost $0. But according to them, you lost $2,000 because you didn't close your fucking trade. That is so scummy. So scummy. No, all these accounts. End of day. End of day. End of day. End of day. As it should be. Right? 3-day pass. Now, once you're on eval, there is a 40% consistency rule. Or once you're on funded, there's a 40% consistency rule. Basically, it just means, like I said before, with these have a 20% consistency rule. Basically, and these have a 40 as well. Basically, like I said before, 40% or your 40% has to be, fuck it. How do I word this shit, bro? You guys know what I meant. You guys saw this shit earlier. I don't have to explain consistency rule, bro. Your max day, your max winning day, your biggest winning day of dollar amount cannot be more than 40% of your total profits. There we go. I am so brain dead, boys, right now. I'm sorry. In theory, these are the fastest payout accounts you can get because it's only 3 days until you get a payout, because the rule is 40%, meaning 3 big winning days. If you match that consistency, you get a payout. However, here's the catch. It's no buffer required. It's not like you need 5 winning days. The catch is you need a profit goal. Yes, on an XFA, you need a profit goal. And I'm going to explain that right now. I'm going to show you guys how it works. You basically need to make before I go into more depth, you need to make $3,000 on the 50K black accounts and you're eligible to withdraw 1.5. You need to make 4,500 on the 100Ks and you're eligible to withdraw 2,000. There is bonuses. What is a bonus? A bonus essentially means on the 50Ks, if you make 5,000 instead of 3,000, you're eligible to withdraw an extra $1,500, which is pretty cool. So you make 5,000, you withdraw 3,000. On the 100Ks, if you make 7,000 instead of 4,500, now you're eligible to take out $4,000, which is pretty cool. You're basically withdrawing 60% of your account. I don't think any other prop firm lets you withdraw 60% of your account while still maintaining a buffer. That is really fucking cool. Really cool feature these guys have. You're literally getting paid a bonus on your profit goal, which is fucking dope, right? So if you make 3,000, you take out 1.5. If you make 5,000, you take out 4,000. If you make on the 100Ks, you make 4,500, you take out 2,000. If you make 7,000, you take out 4,000, right? Let me go confirm that real quick because that could also just be a little bit wrong. Profit goal 1, 3,000, 4,500. Yes, sir. Bonus profit goal. If you make 5,000 on the 50Ks, you get to withdraw another bonus payout, which is 1,500. If you make 7,000, which is the bonus profit goal, on the 100Ks, you get to withdraw an extra 2,000 on top of the 2,000 standard payout. You also get to withdraw an extra 1.5 on the 50Ks, which are 1.5, right? And the thing is that the bonuses only apply on the second, third, and fourth payout. 4 payouts, you get moved to live. That's why it's the second, third, and fourth. It's a straight path to live. So you do your first payout is only profit goal. You make 3,000 on the 50Ks. You withdraw standard payout maximum, which is 1.5, right? You make 4,500 on your 100K. You withdraw 2,000. Now, if you're eligible for another payout, which once again, 40% consistency rule, basically consistency rule, which is basically 3 more trading days, you are eligible for a bonus payout, which is on payouts 2 to 4, not available on payout 1. You have to make $5,000, right? That is your profit goal, right? Oh, it resets to 0 after each payout is approved, meaning you have to make another 5,000 on top of what you're left with, which basically you're going to be left with 1,500 after this payout. So you have to make $5,000. You can withdraw $3,000. Here you have to make $7,000 and you withdraw $2,000. This is a very cool concept. I do like these accounts. I just don't think it's realistic for most traders. If you're a high risk to reward trader, 100% do this shit. It should be easy for you. I'm personally a pretty low risk reward trader, so I have to risk heavy if I were to want to match these goals, right? So the way I trade, my favorite accounts is Lucid Flex. These are the most goated accounts in the fucking trading industry right now. 50, 100, 150, no activation fee, unfunded, no consistency rule, no profit goal, just 5 winning days of on the 50Ks it's 150, on the 100Ks it's 200, on the 150 it's $250. 5 winning days of your given profit goal, and you can request 50% of your account up to a given payout cap. On the 50Ks, payout cap is 2,000. On the 100K, the payout cap is 2,500. On the 150K, the payout cap is $3,000. So you make 4K, you take out 2. You make 5K, you take out 2.5. You make 6K, you take out 3, which is exactly what I just did this last week. I literally had 5 winning days, and I withdrew $3,000 per account. Payout requested at 7:57 p.m. Payout approved at 7:57 p.m. the same fucking day in the same span of 10 seconds. Payout approved. I wake up the next morning. I check my phone. 15 fucking racks in my bank. Most goated fucking PropFirm of all time, right? You're allowed, by the way, with any accounts, you're allowed up to 5 accounts. 5 accounts is your max. Code ALE as always, because I am teaching you guys how to use this PropFirm for a good reason. They are goated. They pay you out in less than this. This is a lie. They pay you out in less than that. Come on now. Pay you out in less than 15 minutes. The first 2 times I requested a payout with them, I will say they paid me out in 5 minutes. The money was in my bank. I think I went to sleep after I requested the payout. I didn't check, but the money did get wired the next morning, which is the slowest they've been. Imagine me complaining about getting $15,000 wired to me in the span of a few hours instead of a few minutes, bro. They're so goated. Like no glaze. I'm glazing them, but yeah, they're good for him. Code ALE, by the way. I would love the support. I teach you guys how to use these accounts because I believe they're great accounts, and I believe you guys can actually all get paid out on them because they actually pay traders out, right? 50K flex, simplest rules in the game. Like I mentioned before, simple profit goals. Standard on eval, end of day drawdown, 2,000, 3,000, 3,600, 6,000, 4.5K, 9K, right? I recommend you guys all stick to 50Ks because a lot of you guys are not necessarily newer to trading, but you're not really scaled, or you might not have the capital to just want to throw in $200 per account. That is why I recommend the 50K. I do think the 100K is a happy medium between the 50K and 150K. The thing about the 100Ks is that your drawdown is $3,000, which you can't really size up a lot unless you're trading micros. Personally, I trade 1 mini on 50Ks and then I trade 2 minis on 150s, but it makes complete sense because you have 2.5 times more drawdown, or sorry, basically not 2.5, 2.25. You basically have twice the drawdown you have on a 50K. So I can risk twice the contracts I can risk on a 50K. On the 100K, you only have 1.5 times. So risking 2 minis doesn't make sense. You'd have to risk 15 micros, which you're going to pay like $100 in fees. It just doesn't make sense for me, right? So if I were you, I'd trade 50 or 150K. If you have the capital for the 150, 100% go for it. If you have the capital for the 50K, I recommend use the 50K, right? Don't listen to this. Code BLACK, no. Code ALE will give you the best percentage on all accounts, right? No activation fee on any account. No daily loss limit. There's no consistency rule once you get to funded. No activation fee, no consistency. 6 payouts, you get moved to live, which I think the more payouts you get before you move to live, the better. You have more money and you build a bigger buffer. So whenever you do get moved on to live, you have the most amount of money to trade with, and you have the most amount of money in your bank account. So you're basically set, right? Rules are, there's no daily loss limit. There's no consistency. You literally just trade. It is literally a free ball. You just trade. You do your thing. You just fucking trade. You need 5 days of 150, 5 days of 200, 5 days of 250, and then you request half of your account being a max of 2,000 on a 50K, max of 2.5K on the 100Ks, and max of 3,000 on the 150Ks. Now, a lot of people complain saying, oh, but you have a payout cap. You have 5 accounts, dude. You're getting a $10,000 payout on this. You can literally get $10,000 a week on this. You can get $15,000. I did $15,000 just last week on this, right? And then you can do 12.5K a week on this. So I don't want to hear you complaining saying, oh, payout cap, because $2,000 per account is a fantastic fucking payout cap to have, right? So overall, I think I just covered all the accounts. Flex being my favorite, of course. You're allowed to have five accounts with any type of account you want. I didn't really go over the pros that well. That is, like I said before, the pros are getting grandfathered into the black. So if you're watching this a few months from now, the pro might not even be a thing, right? This might feel nostalgic, right? You're gonna have black, flex, and direct. I think they're goated. Like I said, I don't recommend direct. Direct is a lot more expensive and the rules are kind of shit. 20% consistency and 8 days for a payout and 6 of them have to be winning to even make that 20% consistency rule a thing. I recommend Lucid Flex. No consistency. Minimum trading days is 5 because of the profit goal, and then you request 50%. No buffer, no profit goal. If you make $2,000 or $3,000 instead of what you have to make on the black, you can still request half of it, right? Because on the 100Ks on the black, you have to make 4.5 You can literally make 3,000 on the flex instead of 4,500. Let's say you had 5 good trading days and 1 bad trading day, and your balance is 3K instead of more on the 100Ks. You can request 2K per account. It's a 10K payout. You don't have to worry about a minimum profit goal. There's no buffer required. None of that bullshit. Just minimum trading days, and then you request 50%. Goated rules. If you guys have any more questions about this, please let me know in the comments. I will be there to answer. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you boys tomorrow for another guide for another prop firm. All right. Have a great day and peace out, boys.